Hi. So, I have been in my cocoon. I've been in a cocoon for a month, a little over a month now. And that means that I have been transforming, and I don't mean like the sense that people might think like gender change. I don't mean it that way. Just mean taking care of things in my life. I'm no longer working in psych, which is so different. I've been in psych for 20 something years. I have a new job. Um, I still DoorDash. I did it the other day on my day off, but I've been in a cocoon. Got to reach out to a bunch of people that I listened to my messages the other day, and I have some that I haven't gotten back, so I have to do that. So guilty of that. I totally miss working in psych, and I will return to psych. Not where I was previously working, but I totally miss the feel and working with some of the people that I once worked with. And I'll tell you why I miss it a lot. It's because I realized that people who don't work or have never worked in a psych field for a significant amount of time, they are not very vocal about speaking about expressing their feelings or vocal about how they might have changed from better to worse. It's not part of their lingo. And so, as someone who is very self aware, and I can tell you where I went wrong, where I went right, what I'm working on, how I have bettered myself. I can express that verbally. I can express it non-verbally. You would see the difference and all that. But people who are not privy to the psych world, or maybe not have had any significant amount of counseling, therapy, or anything to become self-aware, because that's what therapy really is all about. Is teaching you to be a better person and also to become self-aware. And when you're self-aware, that is just like one of the most beautiful things. That saying, know thyself, that is such a powerful way of being in this existence called life. So, but yeah, I realize that people who don't work in that arena, they are not, uh, they're different. They're different. They don't um, react to the same type of emotional, and I don't mean emotional as in a roller coaster, emotional roller coaster type of thing. Just mean they're not interested in hearing anyone else's issues, and they're not interested in sharing issues. They might be a techie person. That's all they want to talk about is tech stuff. But when we realize we are beings, we're not tech, we're not computers, we're not our cars, we're not our homes, we're not our these. When we realize that from head to toe we are whole beings, then maybe that language will become more of a person's vocabulary and their what's the word, just who they are. It might become more of who they are. So, for instance, I'm going to give you an example. I might have reached out to people who are, like, say, non-expressive and non-self-aware, and said, "Hey, how is life going? Is everything good or whatever?" They may not answer you. Or, "Oh, I remember you had a bad such and such time with such and such, and you were really like maybe depressed over it or whatever. Hopefully things will go." They may not respond. I don't like non-responsive people. I think that they're non-communicative, and it's important to become someone who responds to people who care. Otherwise, once you lose and drop people who care, um, you're kind of in trouble unless you're just relying on yourself. But just I've noticed people are not in touch with their emotions. They don't want to discuss their emotions. They don't check in with their emotions, and So when I was in the psych world, that was something that we bounced off of each other for a lot of things. And not everybody, of course, you don't have a relationship with sharing with everyone, but if someone's family member passed, you hear them out and just check in with them and see how they're doing from time to time. And they answered you, you answered them, and you when you're checking in, it's a way of reflecting and saying, well, yeah, I guess I'm okay, or nah, I'm still bummed over that, or things are going so so. So I have people that I know that I kind of check with every now and again, and they're non-expressive. They don't respond, and I think for a few things that it's highly disrespectful not to respond to people, but it's also just it's telling of who a person is. And I'm not I don't what's the word, I don't cater to that type of behavior, because I've learned and I've had to teach others to be verbally expressive, or if you can't be verbally expressive, put it in writing. That's a good way also to express what you might feel. um, Even to say, hey, I don't want to talk about it, is a way of being expressive. So I'm sorry for people who don't know how to communicate well, or who don't think that someone caring about them, their emotional selves, and not just their physical, not just physically giving them something, that's not important, because the emotional self is the head to toe inner being. If you were to extract that, you're just a corpse. And we're not just corpses while we're here on earth alive, right? So I just wanted to say that. But back to my job. Yeah, so it's a different type of environment. I'm around different type of people who don't care about their inner selves. They're workers who just believe that they're workers. So I'm sad for people like that. I really am. It just it shows me the type of people that I'm not, and it shows me the type of people that I don't want to necessarily fraternize with, and not because I don't like differences, because differences are okay, but there's no real camaraderie with someone who's not self-aware. You can't penetrate their minds, and I don't mean that in a manipulative sense. You just can't get through on a honest level. You just can't. And so there's no real relations being formed there. So when I say relations, I mean friendships, or even intimate partners, as far as men and women go. So it's a weird thing. So I like I like the song and dance thing. I even think I'm a person who thinks flirting is normal and natural and healthy and wonderful. I've said that to people who aren't self aware, and they're looking at me like I'm crazy. It's normal, a banter. It's a banter that men and women need. It's good for your hormones. It's good for your inner soul. We need attention sometimes from our counterparts. Male needs it from women, women need it from males, just like children need it from their parents. And when they grow up, if they get a spouse or a significant other, that's the person who, I speak male, female. Um, that's how it was intended in this world. So nothing against anybody else, because I have family members that choose alternative lifestyles, and I love them. There's no love lost, but you know, in truthful speaking, that's what I say. So, and I won't change that. I won't change my thinking in that way, but it's okay um, to not take me offensively. Okay. But anyway, I do DoorDash. I've done it a few times anyway, recently on my day off. And yeah, it's still fun. So I'm still going to do it. It's still giving me a few extra dollars. But, I have a good job now, and I have to watch what I say. So I had to take down a few videos, because I have to watch what I say. It can't be offensive to certain groups of people and all that kind of stuff. So I have to censor myself, which is not a bad thing, because being someone who's a Sagittarius, sometimes we come out of our mouths in ways that we should censor ahead of time, but we're not always thinking. See? And that's what a psych person does. They talk about their flaws in such a way that it's just a natural thing. Like, hey, I'm not perfect. This is what I do. I'm going to work on it because I'm aware of it and blah, 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 blah. Okay? All right, I'm out.